Okay.
Good evening, everyone. This is Skinny E Media presenting you yet another great interview. I have with us today œlfx or œlfx. She's a good friend of mine who lives in near Lyon, Saint-Etienne in France, and she also makes great music. And we would like to speak with her. How are you doing, Ophélie?
I'm fine, a little bit tired because it's the morning and I'm sick, but overall I'm fine.
Well, I'm glad to hear you are hopefully feeling a little better. Hopefully it is not the symptoms of COVID-19.
I don't think it's that. No, it's even worse maybe. I don't know.
Well, we can hope so, you know.
We'll see.
So for everyone out there, I will be doing the interview en anglais, English, just to make it a bit more global. We were deciding between maybe to do it in French or English, but we decided English. Maybe yeah. Because you can make more money, I suppose. So we would like to ask you, Madame Ophélie, how did you get your start with your music?
I started because I was listening to some electronic music at some point. And there were some artists that I really enjoyed and couldn't find more of them. And so I was like, I really love this music and there is not enough. So I wanted to try also to do my own. And actually, because also I read like such artists that I really appreciated, kind of began to make music late in their life and with not especially some musical formation like me. It's like I never studied music or anything, but I really appreciated it. And I thought, okay, maybe that's something that speaks to me maybe more than some other artistic media that I tried before. So I just began to try like that, kind of randomly, with some little keyboards. And yeah, that's how it happened.
It's always good to have a start somewhere with your creative pursuits. I know I also make music myself, but a large part of it I make through software on GarageBand and BandLab, mostly for free. The most expensive part was just trying to get the device to make the sounds. What particular synthesizers or keyboards do you use for your compositions?
I only use little synths like that. I'll show you. One sec. It's the Volca keyboards, the mini log from Korg, and I have 4 of them. One for the beats, one for the bass, and 2 for the melodies. So they're very short. You can bring them anywhere, which I liked also at first because you can just, if you don't want to stay in your room in the dark, you can just take them. They work with batteries, go on the park or in the forest and just play with them and record and then come back home and do some editing if you like. But yeah, they are very convenient. And then I just use Ableton to do the editing part, to put everything together. And of course, like sometimes to use some effects. And to add some stuff. But mostly it's from those little Korg mini log, keyboards.
I think that is absolutely impressive. I remember getting my first start with Korg mini synthesizers and the vocoders when I was first starting with MXQ, implementing the little delays and reverbs and manipulating the frequencies just to give it that fat, crunchy sound. What would you say is your favorite? Try think of the English for like frequency or dial knob.
My God, I have no idea because, as I said, like I don't have any formation in music, which means for me it's like a language that I can hear and like and love, but I cannot at all. It's like hearing a language that you like, but not understanding exactly what's been said. So, for example, I know that there is some notes I like a lot, or like, for example, sometimes some friends that knows more about music, they will tell me, oh yeah, you really like to do some semitone stuff or whatever. But me, I have no idea what I'm doing, like as of naming notes or scales and stuff. Like probably I sometimes use the same stuff, but I cannot really tell. But yeah, maybe one day I will. I'm gonna learn more about like some theory, but it's not for now. Right now, I still like to just experiment, and once I like something, I just stay on that, and then try to add some more like other instruments to fit what I already did, and it's like that it works like with some kind of exploration, but it's not especially something I already know what I'm doing. Like I will just look for it. It's more like I go from a mood I have, an atmosphere I want in my head, and I try to find it with the keyboards. But it's not the other way. It's not like oh yeah, I know the notes and I know exactly what I want, and I will just make it. No, it's more like I have a color in my head, or I have like a mood in my head, or an image, and I will try to find it on the keyboards. That's more or less how it works. Pretty random until I find something I like.
Almost like a form libre sort of thing, free form, going with just how you wish you like it to be. I'm kind of the same way. I have never got actual university or school training in music or visual design of the sorts. I'm only just more or less taught myself, for at least for the remainder of my time. The music courses that I did have mostly just on theory and interpreting the sounds. I think the best musicians are the ones that kind of approach it through their own lens and perspective. For those who are self-taught, you could say that about some of the members of Pink Floyd. They're classic, some of them may be classic trained, but I
My
don't
favorite
think
band,
Syd Barrett was
Pink Floyd.
trained at like a Juilliard type of institution, or you call it musique sort of thing. And then Mozart, Beethoven, il est mi-sourd, or all sorts, so he couldn't really hear, so he had to figure as he sees fit. I think that's the charm of it all. And then I'll say, for influence wise, because I've listened to quite a few of your songs, I definitely got a lot of early Warp Records vibes about it, particularly with Autechre, Beaumont, Anant. Really enough, Beaumont, Anant is not French, they are from in England.
Who?
Beaumont,
You
Anant.
said? Can you send me the on the conversation, because I think I don't know. I know Outtaker, of course, yeah, I really enjoy, but I don't know the second one you said.
I'll send you the name in of itself. You can check on your spare time, and then Higher Intelligence Agency are three big names that definitely remind me of your music. It is absolutely wonderful, particularly from the Incunabula and Amber days of Autechre. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. That's how I call it. It's a bit French.
Outtaker, yeah. No one knows how to pronounce it well, I guess, but that's how I pronounce it as well.
I pronounce it like an Alsatian person. Autechre.
Yeah.
But Yeah, do you have any personal influences of your own? I know you said Pink Floyd.
Yeah, but that's not especially. I don't think I got some influence from them directly in the music. It's just because it's just the group I said when someone asks what's your favorite band. I just say them because I know it's like a safe value. I really listen to them so much. So maybe there is some influence, but like more unconscious. But when I said at first that yes, I began to make music because I really enjoyed some electronic music and I wanted to find more the way I liked it. I was thinking of some Russian artists that I really liked, like back in the like 3-4 years ago. That really moved my mind. And all of them are girls. So one is named Kadri Livansky. She's from Moscow, and right now she maybe made like three albums. Yeah. Another one is named Softblade from Saint Petersburg, and like all of them, they are pretty young. Like they are around like 25, 30 years old, and just began to make music a few years ago. And yeah, some other one named like Ushko. This one is very young. She's like just maybe 21 years old or something. So it's like pretty young artists from Russia. And just listening to their music, I was really amazed. And at some point, I would only listen to that. And I want more, I need more because they are pretty young. They don't have like many records neither. Like, so you just listen to it over and over again. It's like a world speaking to you. And I really enjoyed this world. I could find myself into it. And it will touch some part of me that I couldn't be touched otherwise, like from with other music or with other form of art. Like, so I wanted to explore that more, and that's why I thought, okay, so maybe I just need to sink into music as well to try to explore more this part that is not really that cannot really be put on the surface with some other medium. Yeah, so like this kind of new electronic music scene from Russia really moved me. Yeah.
I would say that's a very interesting point of conversation because a lot of Russian musicians definitely were influenced by the European greats. I know Germany has a strong sort of scene of makeshift electronica as well. And given the sort of clinical and cold atmosphere, I could definitely see that. My friend James Bradle, aka Funky Porcini, was influenced by a lot of sort of Russian electronic music, or he said that
Right.
he listens to a lot of it because it's more interesting than the sort of not to be offensive, the Tiestos, the Dead Mouse Fives, the Daft Punks that you dominate the electronic music scene of today.
Mhm.
EDM,
Yeah.
EDM, c'est un mot blasphème.
Yeah,
Je ne le déteste pas.
and actually those girls also, they made me discover like more electric music because they will be the one that would talk about their influence and mention like Outtaker, Orbital, Birds of Canada, of course, Aphex Twin, and all of those guys. So also through such artists, I will discover other kind of electronic music and sink more into it, as well as some other Russian artists also that are kind of new on the scene, but even more underground, and that it's hard to find. And yeah, I would not at all listen to electronic music 4 years ago, like not at all. And it's just little by little I would sink in right now. I mainly listen to that, I would say. But yeah, it was like some kind of sinking thing for me. Yeah.
Hey, more power to you. I know music-wise, some of your song titles seem to be in reference to nature. Naufrage, I believe, meaning weather storm, and then the meteor. Ouroboros has to do with la serpente. Yeah, qui avale lui-même, and that swallows itself. What is the influence of the song titles? Les titres de chansons.
Actually, I don't write all of my lyrics. Most of the lyrics, it's a good friend of mine which writes a lot that would write for me. And the way we do that is more like I would give him a thematic or a subject I like or that speaks to me at that moment, and he would write like some lyrics. And each time I would more say like I want the lyrics not to be especially like I want the lyrics like to be a part of the music in a way that it would be also an instrument, like, so that's why sometimes it could be just very few lines, but that would repeat again and again like a cycle or something. So like a loop by itself. It depends on the song, but sometimes it's this way. So yeah, either like it's this good friend of mine that would write that, and like the theme from like a thematic that would interest me, and sometimes it's and the other thematics it depends, like sometimes we will just talk and it would just emerge like everything which is around like some cycle, but also because music for me, like there is this thing about like some loops and cycles, so sometimes it also make me think of some situation in life, like when you're took into some kind of round and then you try to like some kind of cycle, and you try to get out of the cycle with some new way. So it's like how to make the lyrics resonate with the form of music itself, I would say. And sometimes I would write also a few lyrics I wrote myself, and it would depend on the mood. I have, I don't know, some thoughts, but most like not most of the time, like all the time actually, it's some kind of pretty vague lyrics. It's also more to describe some kind of mood. It's not especially some I don't know, some specific subject. It's more like I would have like a picture in my head, and I will try to describe these pictures with words more. Also because I come from more, but like I come more from cinema than from music, as I said. Like, so I think I have a lot of my references are a lot also about like some image, colors, forms, and stuff. So sometimes it's more like such moods that I try to describe with words. And yeah, then
It's like soundtrack music, musique des bandes sonores. One could think like Angelo Badalamenti from the David Lynch movies, or
yeah.
Trent Reznor does music for the David Fincher movies, and even in your country, Thomas Bangoter, he done some of the one or two of the soundtracks for a Gaspar Noé film. I think is absolutely impressive, and you know, a lot of Gaspar Noé's films can be very disturbing and explicit, and it creates a very much a mood of its own. In many ways, it kind of the music that you do reminds me a bit of some of the artists that I like Geir Jensen. Il est Norvégien. He's Norwegian. He done Man with the Movie Camera, L'homme avec l'appareil photo. It's a silent film, but he done the soundtrack music to it to give it a sort of feel and a vibe that's a bit more contemporary, I would suppose. So that's kind of what you reminded me a little bit of there, and the use of sort of atmosphere, I think, is definitely the most important part. And when you said earlier on, Boards of Canada, they're a favorite band of mine. I hold very dearly. I wish I could show you one of my CDs, but it's stuck up in storage. I don't know where it is, but yes, there's a strong very much a strong influence there, almost like nostalgia.
Mhm.
You think about, when I was a petite écolière,
Mm.
and they shown all the
Mm.
publicités sur la télé, on se
Yeah.
M6, Canal Bleu, France 3, that sort of thing. So if I slip into French every now and then for the audience out there, it's my second language. C'est ma deuxième langue.
Mm.
Even though je suis britannique et
Yeah.
américain. But I was going to ask as well, for your music got played on Radio Dio on Saint-Etienne. Was that possible?
It's not my music that is played there. It's me and a friend who make an emission there. And I don't play my music there. I'm too shy for that. What I do is what we do together. It's more to share some things we like, and so exactly like some Russian artists I mentioned earlier. I played them there. So it's more like we thought, okay, let's have an emission, and we put like some music, some text, and we try to do some editing with text and music that kind of matches. And so she will be more digging some text, and me more, I'm taking care of the music. And yeah, we try also to create again like some kind of atmosphere in this emission, like with some kind of path, and to just share some things that don't have a lot of visibility maybe otherwise. But I don't put my music there yet, even though I could, because I can do whatever I want. But I'm a little shy for that. For now, maybe one day, since it's every month at some point, maybe I will.
Have you played live so far? Because I believe your music would definitely resonate with a lot of people in Great Britain, or even to some extent like in Deutschland or Alemania. They would, as Americans would say, they would dig it. Yeah, it's pretty
Really?
good, you know.
Actually, I had the first live thing 2 weeks ago, but it was not especially with my songs. It was more like to play randomly with the keyboards. I mean, not randomly, but it was more like some long improvisation with some loops. But it was not my songs. So I did that with a friend that would put some songs that she recorded in Saint-Etienne, where we live, and I would just play with some loops, and we did that like for around 1 hour. And actually these days I try to prepare a live, this time to play with my songs, but the thing is that yes, for now, first of all, I didn't have a lot of enough confidence to try to think of some live things, and second of all, I didn't exactly know how a live could work, because I didn't want it just to put like the track and to sing on top of it. I wanted also to interfere more with the sound. So right now, I try to work on that with a friend, like to think how my music can be played live. So that's what I'm working on exactly these days, actually, to maybe play next week to some kind of events, but kind of it's not really official. So it will be like outside in a park, and I will try to play a little bit in the dark, hidden. We'll see. And maybe if it works and I like it, maybe I will try to find some other place or way to do that. We'll see, because that's another step completely. Yeah.
I know because of confinement et COVID-19, it's been difficult for artists, established and new ones, to try to make their voice being heard because of restrictions. I feel sorry for everyone out there, but people are making actually a lot more creativity even during times of crisis, and I definitely see the same thing occurring as we speak through your music and everyone else's, and I think that's very important there. If anything, you could probably pop over to des films, des dessins animés, honestly, to see if you could play your music and they play might like it at Annecy. You never know, because some of their animated films, dessin animé, are quite I don't know the French word for highbrow. Perhaps like
Sourcil.
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 Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
en grand honneur. Oh, comme qui roule des rois Louis XIV. I like being funny every once in a while. My humor can be a bit francophone. I grew up on a lot of like Tintin, Oggy et le Cafard, and Astérix et Obélix. Even though they are Belge, they're Belgian. Wallon. But you have any plans to perhaps put your music on films or television, or that is still in the works?
Oh, well, I did sometimes made some little music for short movies of friends or even mine, because sometimes I do still short movies. But that's really some little films. Huh? It will never be on TV or anything. But yeah, the last films I did, sometimes there is some of my music on them that I use. Not like the songs where I sing, but like some little impro that I did, or yeah, I will put them on that. Yeah. Then it's just that I spend less time these days into making films than I used to. So, but yeah, each time if I have another project in cinema, yeah, probably there should be some little music on them on it, and it will be some improvisation, yeah, that I would make. Yeah, could be.
I'll definitely keep my ear out. You know, it's a competitive world out there. Even I find it difficult to get my music across to people throughout, because they often will only listen to people who have the highest number of Instagram or Twitter and TikTok hits, or on a major label like AME, Tony BMG, which you know, you got to be like Bono or Mylène Farmer to be with the leagues, like that sort of thing. If actually, this is dans la question marrant. Of all the artists you want to collaborate, what would be your dream artist? I could see you working with Charlotte Gainsbourg, or maybe perhaps James Lavelle. He's a famous electronic artist, or Moby. I don't know.
Nice. Well, I never thought of that, because that seems very, that seems just impossible. So I didn't think of that. But I will just work with some of these Russian artists, obviously, that I love. I would work with Kadri Levansky, my favorite singer, yeah, because she gave me the want to make music. So yeah, I would just choose her. And if not, some girls like FKA Twigs, or, you know, would work with a girl for sure.
Oh yes.
Yeah, maybe FKA Twigs, maybe Björk. Okay, maybe Björk. Yeah.
Oh, just made my day saying Björk. She's one of my favorite female musicians. I had my heart was racing when I was a child. I was in love with her. I had crushed when I was a child, but you know, there was a big age difference, so that couldn't happen. Because I loved the album Post and Debut. So that's how I first heard of her. But if you can get, you know, FKA Twigs or Björk to be on there, that would be even more super. As far as like record label wise, I'm gonna roll the dice on this one. You have three options: Warp, Ninja Tune or Mute? Mute is the label that
I don't know anything about label. I just know the first one you said, so I would say the first one, because it's the one of FX Twin and all of that, right?
Yep.
I guess. That's the only one I know, but I don't know. I don't get interested in such stuff at all. That's really, I don't know. That's not my world at all. Such label stuff. So I say the first one, the only one I know. Yeah.
Well, you picked a very good choice. Warp is my favorite label too. I wouldn't like the kind of music I like, including yours, if it wasn't for Ports of Canada, œlfx Twin, Square Pusher, or Tekre, and God rest her soul, Mira Calix. She actually followed me. She was a great female musician, one of the first on the label, but she passed away a few months ago for reasons we don't know. But she was definitely influential to me, the experimental stuff. And I also asked for the last question, because we all love music here. If you had to pick between FNAC or I don't know what the other music store name is, like FNAC or HMV, which would it be?
HMV, what's that? Does the
HMV, c'est un magasin qui vend de la CD, du DVD, Blu-ray et manga.
But does it exist in France?
Je ne le connais pas. I don't actually know, but it's very similar to FNAC. Is that where you go to get your musical films, or do you go to un magasin spécialisé ou indépendant, de Saint-Etienne ou Lyon?
I don't go to any shop like that. Like either I would find some music on digging on SoundCloud, or or then I would go completely randomly. If I go to some kind of flea market or so, they have some vinyls or CDs, and I would just either take some stuff I heard about, or just as I said, I really like image, so I would also base myself on some kind the covers, then just okay, this looks interesting, I take that. And so, but I don't go on like FNAC to buy some CDs or so. Or I go to how do you say in English? Mediathèque, libraries, public libraries, to take the CDs and stuff, listening into my car, because I like to listen to CDs still, but no one does that. So the place you have to do that for me, it's perfect, because my car, I just have the CD lector. So
okay. Hey,
each time I take the car, I have a lot is like 10. I take 10 each time I go to the public libraries, and I listen to CDs this way, just take some random stuff, or once again, as I said, like just I choose with the color. So that's what I do, basically. And then if I need to dig, really, it happens on internet. And if I like, I can buy later. But yeah, first of all, just like go to the, do they like, what do they like, what do they like? That's how it works. Yeah.
Okay, very good choice. I didn't even know La Médiathèque Française even had CDs. Do they have I don't know the French word for LP or vinyl. Do they have that?
They don't have, I mean, I guess it depends which ones. The one here in Saint-Etienne, they don't have vinyls. Yeah, but I'm sure there is some which have some. But they still have, yeah, CDs, DVDs, books, comics. That's already good.
Now
Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to go over there, whichever way. I will book my ticket. Very, very interesting. So for the audience out there, I think this is all we can say, but it's been nice to having you, Madame Ophélie.
Thanks.
Madame, it's a sign of respect to French woman of any age. And
Exactly.
remerciez-vous pour l'interview, l'entretien. Je serais heureux à avoir l'opportunité de ça.
Merci à toi et à bientôt.
À bientôt.